Michael is the greatest player ever.
LeBron James is a better basketball player.
He never was. He never has been. Nor will he ever be greater than Michael Jordan. It will not happen.
LeBron's been the best player ever since about midway point of Game 6 of last year's finals.
Michael Jordan is what in the finals? 6 and what?
Oh.
And what is LeBron in the finals?
Look, I get what Jordan did. Jordan won 6 titles with the same team, but LeBron has won 3 titles.
Number 2 all time, behind Michael Jordan.
LeBron James has 5 game-winning buzzer beaters in the playoffs, the most ever in NBA history.
MJ just had everything, you know, from mid-range to three-point to post-up game, and he could score and dominate in each position.
I don't know where people are coming up with these. LeBron James, is he an all-time great scorer? No, he is the all-time greatest scorer.
Michael Jordan always took it to a point that he wanted to guard the best player.
You cannot tell me in a one-on-one game now that LeBron James wouldn't dominate Mike. In a one-on-one game, LeBron James, 6'9", 260 pounds. If the game was at 7, I think LeBron would win 7-3.
What's going on, my Uptown allies? Your boy C-Jack City here, back with a very interesting and excited episode. Y'all know what it is. Y'all see the tagline, LeBron versus Jordan. So check this out. Before we get into both of these guys, let's just give them both their flowers. You can't compare the two. It's 2 different eras, the rules and changed from back in the day till now. The social climate is different. Let's get into it. Let's take you back to 2003. And let's go to Akron, Ohio. At St. Vincent St. Mary High School, we are witnessing what they call now King James. LeBron James was the first high school player to have the games televised on ESPN.
Every game that we have is sold out.
Not ESPN News, not ESPN 2. You didn't have to have no special sports package to watch the game. If you had basic cable, they were showing LeBron James on high school. That's how serious this kid was. Let me put this in perspective for y'all so y'all can be clear. Back in 2003, we wasn't watching high school games on ESPN. We didn't have ESPNU. We didn't have all these special sports packages that you have now. If you had ESPN, you was watching SportsCenter or whatever they broadcast. This is the first time we was following a high school athlete on ESPN with no other than LeBron James. Kobe Bryant also came straight out of high school like LeBron. Wasn't televising his games. Kevin Garnett came straight out of high school like LeBron. Wasn't televising his games. Lou Alcindor, aka Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We ain't see no black and white high school games on TV. Well, we know we didn't, because we weren't alive, but they wasn't televising it back then. This is a big deal. When LeBron first hit the scene, he hit the scene running hard. He had a G-Unit type of rollout. He had a 50 Cent type rollout. This on a basketball level. Coming into the 2003 draft, it was highly anticipated, and rightfully so. Look who you had at the top of the draft. LeBron, number 1. Then you got guys like Darko Milicic, who went number 2. They missed on that one, Detroit. Then you got Carmelo Anthony.
Here's Melo with the alley-oop to James.
You got Dwayne Wade.
Oh, what a play!
You got Chris Bosh.
Looking at attack Howard playing.
This draft was crazy. LeBron James came in at number 1 pick overall and never disappointed and never looked back. Think about it. Going number 1 and actually living up to your expectations is a lot of pressure on you.
They put me in the nosebleeds the first time I ever went to a Cavs game. I didn't like that too much.
We all know what the Cleveland Cavaliers organization was before LeBron got there. They wasn't relevant since like the 80s when Michael Jordan beat them in the playoffs over Craig Elo. Like, come on, y'all. Cleveland, I know LeBron's from the state of Ohio, but we know he ain't really one. Come on, Cleveland.
LeBron James' first shot is good. Welcome to the NBA.
Take that into perspective. LeBron going into a terrible organization like the Cavaliers. And they didn't go to the playoffs their first year, but that second year, LeBron had them as title contenders. That's wild. Look at that roster. Eric Snow. I like Eric Snow because he played against my favorite player, AI. He cool, but he Eric Snow. Larry Hughes. I like Larry Hughes. He played here in Washington for a little bit. That's my man. He good for what he good for. He good for good 18 points a game. We're not gonna sit up here and act like Cedrinas Ilgauskas. Did I say that right? We're gonna call him Big Z, because I don't feel like saying that again. Big Z was okay. He was big, whatever, but pause. He was whatever. He was a serviceable big man at the time, but he wasn't a Patrick Ewing. You know what I'm saying? After years of the Cleveland Cavaliers failing to put the proper pieces around them, the 2011 offseason came. People were like, nah, LeBron not gonna leave his hometown. LeBron not gonna leave his. It was a frenzy. It was a big build up. Everybody like, man, what LeBron about to do? People thought he was gonna go to Chicago, try to be like Mike. They expected him in the Big Apple. Or he going to New York. They thought he was going to the Lakers with Kobe. I'm like, Kobe's not gonna allow that. They thought he was gonna go to Dallas with Mark Cuban. That was probably his second choice. They thought he was going to the Spurs with Pop. He had a great relationship with Pop that he developed once they was on a USA team together. People was like, what's going on?
James with another block. And here's Dwayne Wade down the other end.
Him and D-Wade were very close friends because of the draft, and they played on the USA team together. And if y'all remember, that year in the All-Star game, their chemistry was crazy. I said all that to say, my man LeBron pretty much put together a 60-minute special with ESPN just to let us know.
I'm gonna take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
I mean, this jump was 30 minutes long, man. I mean, I was at the bar. We was all at the bar. I was with the fellas. I'm like, damn, I'm thinking I'm just gonna get like a Bleacher Report or a notification to when LeBron gonna choose. We watching it on TV. I'm thinking it's like a 30 for 30 or something, but he's actually made it the decision. Oh, that's what they called it, the decision. Kanye was there, rumor has it. They say he fell asleep. He was still tired from interrupting Taylor Swift on stage. So once this happens, guess what else happened? Oh, hold on. D-Wade was a free agent. Chris Bosh was a free agent. All D-Wade do was re-sign. And Chris Bosh said, well, I'm going to South Beach too. I'm tired of Canada.
Hola. ¿Cómo están?
And also, D-Wade already had a ring. He was a finals MVP already. So it was kind of like, what are we doing? He's going to play with his direct competition in the East. Sometimes you gotta make things, you gotta do a little bit of different things. This is another myth. Everybody say, oh, Mike would never left. The league was different. These guys ain't have the freedom to do that. I don't frown on them too much for that. New league, new era, AAU basketball kind of started all this. Let's keep it moving. So it's announced LeBron's in Miami, Chris Bosh in Miami. They had a whole parade. They had a parade before they won any damn thing. You know what I'm saying? They predicted like 8 finals, I believe.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. Not 6, not 7.
I mean, it was some entertaining basketball. I remember they called the Clippers Lob City. This was Lob World. This was Lob Universe. These throwing oops from everywhere. Was on the bench throwing oops. I think Spoelstra caught an oop. Pat Riley threw an oop. Everybody was throwing oops. They had like 30 points in oops one game. I'm like, good Lord. I think D-Wade threw one from the inbound one time. That season was crazy. They go to the finals, of course. Here's where it get tricky, y'all. Here's where it get tricky. That 2011 finals, D-Wade showed up. D-Wade showed up and showed out. He was averaging 28, 29 points per game. Chris Bosh was averaging his average. LeBron was only averaging like 13 points. And also during the elimination game, he had one of the biggest meltdowns we ever seen a superstar have in an elimination game. The Dallas Mavericks ended up beating the Miami Heat in 6 games. LeBron James had a press conference. He was like,
all the people that was rooting on me to fail, at the end of the day, they got to wake up tomorrow and have the same life that they had, same personal problems that they had, and I'm going to continue to live the way I want to live.
Y'all about to get up and go to work to the job you don't like. I'm like, damn, LeBron, what? You lost. We didn't do it. I was rooting for you. He was going on us, y'all, but he's forgiven, all forgiven, whatever. We fast forward to the next season. The Miami Heat found themselves in the same position. This time going up against a young and raw OKC with the likes of Kevin Durant, we all know KD from the DMV area. Russell Westbrook, we all know Russell Westbrook. And James Harden, we all know James Harden. Them guys was good. They was young, they was fresh, they was raw, but the Heat was way too polished. They Lob City, Lob Universe, like I said. They was already in their bag. They was disappointed they ain't win the year before. They pretty much mopped OKC. LeBron won his first ring. You know what LeBron did after that? He went to go get Ray Allen from the Boston Celtics, so he had to worry about them evil. LeBron wanted Michael Jordan. LeBron was probably going to get Kobe. Rumor has it LeBron was going to have Allen Iverson come on the Heat roster just to, get him a ring. That's just a rumor. Somebody check me on that, whatever. The Ray Allen acquisition was significant because not only did it start a rift between Ray Allen and KG, it was Ray Allen and Paul Pierce and Ray Allen and Ron. Pretty much the whole Boston Celtics roster was like, how you gonna go play with the ops? Like, they the ops. He want another ring, baby. I don't know what y'all doing. LeBron called me. Like, he called me. I don't blame Ray Allen. Y'all blame him? I don't blame him. Let's keep it moving. Fast forward from that. LeBron James wins his first ring against OKC, wins his second ring against the Spurs, gets his revenge from 2007. And he comes to back-to-back championships, it's the Spurs in Miami again. This time LeBron wasn't so lucky. LeBron did his thing. D-Wade wasn't the same D-Wade. Chris Bosh was battling heart problems. The Heat seemed like they kind of, they kind of cooled down a little bit. All I can remember was LeBron like, not 1, not 2. Yeah, you did not get 3. You did not get 4. You didn't get 5, 6, or 7. Just to keep it funky, LeBron, we gotta keep it real.
Deciding to come back and play here.
Around this point, this is when LeBron James started to look at the Cavaliers organization like, hey, big head. That's because Kyrie Irving was down there. He's exciting to watch. He scored a 50-point game, I think. Kyrie looking very promising. Kevin Love up in Minnesota getting 40 points and 20 rebounds, putting up Wilt Chamberlain type numbers. LeBron pretty much Chris Bosh him like, hey, Kevin Love, we going to Cleveland and play with Kyrie. He like, damn, LeBron, can we go to LA? Because he from LA. His uncle's one of the Beach Boys. You know, that whole Surfing US, them guys who sing that song, that was Kevin Love uncles in them. He want to go to LA. LeBron like, nah, we going to Cleveland.
LeBron can never come back. He's one of our own. He's from Akron. He has a tattoo of loyalty on his body. And he ignored that to go chase the championship with Chris Bosh in Miami.
It was actually surprising that LeBron decided to go back to Cleveland. They burnt his jersey when he went to Miami, which was a little OC. I understand them being upset, but that was OC. And then the owner, I think Gilbert, said something like, oh, we're going to win a championship way before. We all knew that shit was cap. We all knew that was cap. Who y'all going to win the championship with? Who? LeBron. So LeBron goes back to Cleveland. He's back in the finals, of course. Kyrie's hurt. Kevin Love's hurt. Him, Dellavedova, Tristan Thompson, and some other niggas is going against this new dynasty in Golden State with Steph Curry, who's changing the league. This nigga shooting threes from the rafters. He wasn't going to win that finals. The next year, with a healthy Kevin Love and a healthy Kyrie, LeBron brings Cleveland Cavaliers their first ring. This, to me, I thought was very honorable of him, because being from the DMV, we would have liked if somebody to do that for us. Kevin Durant. LeBron ends up going to the Lakers, struggle for a couple years, they get AD, and then, they win in the bubble, they win a bubble championship. 3 different franchises LeBron won a ring for. Miami, LA, and Cleveland. That's wild. We probably will never see that again, to be honest with you. Not only did he win a ring with him, he won Finals MVP. That's the significance of it. LeBron is the all-time points leader. He's 4th in assists all time. He's the only one with 10,000 rebounds and 10,000 assists. We probably will never see that again.
And I want my damn respect too.
Everything he ran through for LeBron is nothing short of amazing. His resume is second to none. His resume, we never gonna see half the stuff with we never gonna see that again. We have to appreciate LeBron. Nothing but a role model on and off the court. That's important. But hold on. These nationally syndicated sports shows, I don't know if they be getting bored in the summertime. They be begging for headlines or something. They take LeBron's legacy and try to tear down. Hold on for a second. We got Captain Marvel, Black Jesus, the Black Cat, His Airness, Superman, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I shouldn't even have to say nothing else. In 1984, when LeBron was born, Michael Jordan in 1984 was a rookie in the NBA, trailblazing.
Well, I think we got the best draft of most teams in the NBA.
His upbringing was a little different from LeBron. This might be where they differ, their mentalities.
Well, I didn't make my varsity, and that was a big thing in high school. And
Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team in his JV year. He made it varsity, but him being cut put nothing but a chip on his shoulder. His father was always hard on him, trying to get the best out of him. He would do things to shun him like, oh, you can't come out here with me and your brother. This is what the men doing. You go in there with your mom, go bake some cookies. He would do stuff like that to Mike, and Mike would feel like, if I gotta prove myself to my dad, who he adored, that's what he got to do. Mike always had a chip on his shoulder. In Wilmington, North Carolina, Laney High School, Michael Jordan obviously made an impression on Dean Smith in North Carolina. He recruited him, brought him on. As soon as Mike came to North Carolina, it was a no-brainer who the best player on the team was. Team with James Worthy and Kenny Smith.
The Tar Heels lead it. Jordan with a move on the baseline.
Mike outshined them all. Won a national championship game against my Georgetown Hoyas.
The Chicago Bulls pick
Michael Jordan.
1983 NBA draft. With the third pick, we made the earth sick. MJ, fade away, perfect. Michael Jordan was drafted number 3 overall by the Chicago Bulls behind Sam Bowie and Hakeem Olajuwon. The Chicago Bulls was actually criticizing for drafting a guard so high in the draft. This is a big man's league back then. In the 80s, you gotta remember, if you ain't have a big man, you ain't really have a chance of winning no games. This is a big man's league. Michael Jordan go to Chicago, and he didn't waste no time letting nobody know who the hell he was. Mike came in blazing. The Chicago Bulls team the year before, I think, got caught in a cocaine scandal, so half the team was suspended. So Mike out there playing with, he out there playing with shit, I don't know. Mike out there playing with the cocaine cowboys.
I never read that.
He out there playing with real bowheads. He don't know who passing the ball to. He get the rebound. Mike like, I'm not giving none of these niggas the ball, because I don't even know if they looking for the ball. You know what I'm saying? Mike out there, he led them to the playoffs. Mind you, the East was weak and they was under 500. He led them to the playoffs. His first series in the playoffs, you know who he had to go against? Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parish, a team full of Hall of Famers in the Boston Celtics. You know what he did? They lost. They got swept. They lost the series. I mean, can't beat all them niggas with just Michael Jordan. Mike scored 63. He literally looked like he was playing by himself. He threw the ball off the backboard. Boom, I got it. Come down the court. You're not getting the ball, nigga. I'm going up. Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan. You know what else Michael Jordan did?
Michael Jordan on the drive against Hansen down the lane.
Mike's second year in the league, he averaged 35 points a game. Michael Jordan was, the league never seen this before, y'all. It was a big man's league, and a guard came in dominating. A big man's league. That was unheard of. By his third year, Michael Jordan, a household name. Nike would not be Nike without Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan literally had to go be Superman for Nike to be as prominent as it is today. And he did. Michael Jordan, slam dunk champion and defensive player. Michael Jordan was the MVP and defensive player of the year at the same time. That's never happened. Nobody has ever won defensive player of the year and averaged 30 points a game. It's never happened. Michael Jordan's the only player to ever do that.
You just left your feet. Yeah, but where else you gonna go? In the game, I go for you. I spun all the way around. I go for these ribs right here.
We're gonna stop this myth of Mike just being omnipotent. Mike struggled just like LeBron struggled. Wasn't no big deal. He had to go through the growing pains and the learning process. He had to learn how to play the game to win, just like LeBron had to learn to play the game to win. The Chicago Bulls end up drafting Scottie Pippen.
He's a rookie here. We got an interview by you today. He get treatment like this.
People be sleeping on Scottie. Scottie could do it all. Scottie could rebound, he can assist, he could dribble, he can guard your best player on your team. Scottie was a very prominent piece of Michael Jordan's success. We're not gonna overshadow Scottie Pippen. It's not gonna happen. But this pairing of Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, and new coach Phil Jackson put in this triangle offense, it was all she wrote. Once Mike won his first ring, he won his second ring, won his third ring. At that time, nobody won 3 straight championships. Before we continue with Mike's legacy, I see this narrative going around about Mike not having no competition. He ain't played no good competition. The Phoenix Suns won 64 games. Charles Barkley was the league MVP. He was voted the league MVP. He was the best player in the league that year. Whatever competition do y'all want him to have? Let's get to the point. Mike won his third ring. He retired. His father was sadly murdered. We talked about this on the Jordan's episode. Mike came to the press conference and said, I just wanted to do what Magic and Bird never did, and that was three-peat. At this time, like I said, this was the first time anybody's ever won 3 championships in a row. Mike retired, then came back.
I'm only gonna allow him to have his trophy if he promises to come back and do it again.
People think he was left for 2 years. He only sat down for a year. He came back in the mid-season of that second year. He was a little rusty. He came back hot, but he ain't had a win he needed to go through a playoff run. So they ended up losing to the Orlando Magic, the Shaq and Penny Magic we always talk about, legendary team, competition. He lost to them in the second round. That following year, ran into the Orlando Magic, 3-0 sweep. It was a 3-0 sweep because back then, the first round of playoffs was just the best of 5. So they swept them in 3 games. That started off championship number 4, championship number 5, and championship number 6. Again, I want to address the whole narrative about Mike not having no competition. The Seattle Supersonics, the team he beat to win his 4th ring. Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, deadlift shrimp. They all averaged over 15 points. I don't care how, just because one guy wasn't averaging 30 points, 3 guys averaging over 15 points is a good balanced team. They also won 64 games that year. His back-to-back wins against the Utah Jazz. Karl Malone, it took guys 15 years to pass Karl Malone on all-time scoring list. Kobe and LeBron had to pass Karl Malone, who sat at place number 3 for a long time. John Stockton, the point guard, Karl Malone's point guard, he's the all-time assist leader. The next person close to John Stockton in assists is like 8,000 assists away. Nobody's breaking that record. So when we talk about this level of competition, put that in perspective. The game was different back then. Everybody wasn't just coming down shooting threes. You had to really get the high percentage shot. So put that in perspective.
I don't regret my decision at all. I think it's the appropriate one. Or else no one else will have an opportunity to win if I keep playing.
When we talk about the first three-peat Mike had, that first one, he left and came back and did it again. Mike said, y'all not on my level. Y'all gotta get somebody else before me. He came back and did it again. Like, nobody did that at this point. So how do we not look at him, who pretty much grew the Nike brand, he grew the ballpark brand, he grew the Hanes, I want to be like Mike and Gatorade. How do we not look at this man and say, this is basketball royalty? This is the guy who sits at the top of the throne.
But you can't make $30, $40, $50 million and then sit out games. I think it's disrespectful to the game.
That's another thing. Michael Jordan, he went 72-10. He had 9 seasons where he played all 82 games. 9 seasons. I think LeBron just did it 2 years ago. Not to compare the two. I'm just saying, put it in perspective. Guys cared about the regular season accolades back then. Michael Jordan is also the only player in NBA history to win league MVP, scoring title, defensive all-NBA first team, and finals MVP. Nobody else has ever done it. Mike did it 4 times. Again, how do we not look at this man and say this is basketball royalty? How do we not look at LeBron and say this is basketball royalty? How do we look at this guy, Michael Jordan, all that he has accomplished, and say he's not basketball royalty? How do we not look at LeBron James, all that he has accomplished, and not call him basketball royalty? They are the guys of their eras, 2 different eras. You can't compare them. Let's just appreciate both of them equally. But y'all know what it, who y'all got? Y'all know what it is. Slack time. Subscribe, like, and comment. Hit the notification bell. Hashtag UPTAF. Let's get it. What's up, y'all? Your boy C-Jack City here with Uptown Alley Fashions. Hot new drop of the week. November 10th, 2023. The Georgetown 5s will be hitting shelves and internet websites. The Georgetown 5s. Base color, navy blue, gray trim, just like the Georgetown jersey. You know how Georgetown used to do back in the day. Go check them out.